Moving on, Catchweight is brand new for LINKFRESH as well this year. So Catchweight is one of our nicest new features this year. We've introduced a Catchweight solution which has actually been built from the ground up, utilizing experts in the industry and have actually had experience with the Catchweight solutions in the past. Catchweight solution as it stands will typically be run through organizations that need to retain some identity on what is actually coming in through one unit of measure, and that unit of measure could typically be denoted as a weight value, so kilograms, whatever, but essentially handled through alternative units of measure. So it might be pieces, so utilizing salmon fillets as an example. If I just navigate to my item here, I've actually got, you will see here, a secondary base unit of measure code. So my base unit of measure typically would be the one that I'm handling the product through with our warehouse and so on, is denoted as kilograms, and that alongside it I've actually got my item set up with a secondary unit of measure. So what this basically means is that I'm retaining two inventory ledgers, one based on the primary, what I would classify as a primary for this, and the one that's classified as a secondary. So here's our primary inventory level. So as it stands, we're looking at 6,750 kilos, of which 6,750 kilos is roughly will be translated as 2,780 fillets pieces. So we're maintaining a separate ledger alongside that, and as a result of that, what we've had to do is we've had to expand a lot of the areas within LINKFRESH to ensure that you have traceability or visibility on secondary units of measure values. So wherever we actually have inventory management, wherever we're handling product coming into the organization, we've expanded that solution to encompass our Catchweight functionality. Some of the features that we've done on this example, I've actually got 1,000 kilos, which makes up roughly 400 pieces. That said, what we actually have the ability to do is run through and adjust our primary values and our secondary values, because these are typical nice to have values, but in the real world you wouldn't have exactly 25 kilos per se in a particular case. The chances are it's going to be either less than that or slightly more than that, but thereabouts, and likewise with the ability of understanding what the quantity is. So we have the ability to alter some of these values to coincide with what we actually have coming in. And again, although I'm entering some values manually, a lot of this information would typically be brought in and generated for us through some type of preemptive advanced shipping note, which could be brought in through manifest processing or the EDI functionality. Added onto that solution, obviously handling product in one unit of measure and sending it out as another is one thing. That's brilliant, but what we also have the ability to do is also trade in one value as well as another. So what we've introduced for Catchweight as well is the pricing by secondary unit of measure, or the alternative unit of measure. Now, one thing to mention is that for this example, I've actually got my product coming in as kilos, and the item's secondary unit of measure is denoted as pieces. That can be flipped the other way around, and you can have a raft of different scenario or setups to determine what it is, how you feel the item should be configured. In this example, I have the ability to run through, and I can say that I'm ordering in 1,000 kilos as it stands, but I've actually got 40 pieces, but I actually wish to invoice or trade utilizing the secondary unit cost. So we can see here that we actually are maintaining costs, or we have the ability to price or invoice in the secondary measures as well, and trade in the secondary units of measure. So trade in pieces, but handle in kilos and so on. I'll just show you quickly the sales order document, whereby we can actually see all the relevant information. So as you can see, I've brought in my items here, and you have the ability to actually, if I just show them on screen, let me make sure that they are actually there. The ability to view the pricing information through the quantity, secondary quantities, units of measure, and so on. So we have the ability here to see our secondary quantities and our secondary units of measures, or our catch weight quantities and catch weight units of measures. And we also have the ability to denote that is actually for pricing, whether that's we actually eventually invoice off at the catch weight value or the base value. So any and all, again, just to summarize on catch rate, any and all processes that encompass that, we've actually enhanced further to incorporate the catch rate solution. One of the other factors revolves around what I've shown you today so far is the fact that we have actually expanded the touchscreen interfaces and, of course, our mobile solution to encompass a lot of the new features that we've shown you. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drag in our Silverlight application, and this is our touchscreen, our production touchscreen environment. And what I've done here is I've actually just pre-prepped a view on an item that we're making, and as you can see here, we've expanded our functionality to incorporate not only catch weight production, but also case tracking and traceability as well. So the idea being is that one has the ability to retrieve in weight values through bringing in measurements from electronic device scales, and we can say that as we are building our cases, that the output entries, the output values in terms of our secondary unit of measure is actually going to be such and such. So this is just a brief view of one of the how we've actually enhanced our Silverlight touchscreen application to encompass that. Obviously, mobile has also been enhanced further to incorporate case tracking, GTIN functionality, and now catch rate as well.